Yeah, well, it's good to be back. What up? It's the biggest party of the summer. But why do I feel lava was just brought out of Bargain City? I digress. Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to the NoDQ Galaxy Predictions Panel. Your four men are back. I am, of course, the Simple Man. My name is Noel Foster. With me, of course, the Ollie Kitman Mark the Griff reviews, coming off a live AEW experience in Pittsburgh. Lucky, damn it, lucky. Of course, I have the leader of Meltdown 316. He'll tell you what that's about, Jeff Chadwick. And a good, wholesome, all-time fan of NoDQ, strong prominent of NoDQ Galaxy, Christopher Rotz. Gentlemen, it's great to see you all again. It's good to be back. Let's go around and check out how everybody's doing. How are you? Mark, I'll start with you. It's good to see you again.
I'm doing good, man. I'm excited for this big party this weekend. We got two big pay-per-views, one being NXT TakeOver 36, and of course SummerSlam. I'm rocking the Bray Wyatt shirt out of trying to support him the best way I can. So looking forward to it.
Respect. I gotta respect that. Jeff, been a while, man. How you feeling about this whole SummerSlam TakeOver weekend?
I'm excited, man. I'm telling you, we got 15 matches this weekend. And, you know, I got to say this. I said it before we went live. It's good to have the 4 horsemen of predictions back, baby.
NoDQ Galaxy represent. That's what's up.
Right.
And, of course, Chris, man, you know I love you, brother. It's always good to hear you again, speak to you. I know that you came on to this back in WrestleMania. You've been a faithful member since. How you been?
I've been so good. I'm glad that the 4 horsemen are finally back. This feels like good times again. I'm ready for SummerSlam. I'm ready for TakeOver. We have 15 matches to predict, but we might have another match added. We might have 16 altogether. So I'm ready to talk about the matches.
Well, I mean, give or take, this is the WWE. They love to add more to it. So with that being said, of course, SummerSlam takes place Saturday. You're hearing that right, folks. Saturday night. NXT TakeOver takes place Sunday night, and it's always screwing up everybody's heads. With that being said, I've jabbered on enough. Let's shoot through these cards and get started. And I feel it only makes sense to start with the biggest part of the summer since it kicks us off. Let's go ahead and start off with this match. And Jeff, I will let you lead. Last time I checked, the only doll I knew that was possessed and had supernatural powers was Chucky. And I'm pretty sure Chucky and Lily do not know each other. Yet Dewdrop, that sounds like a Pokemon that's a giant raindrop, apparently has been possessed by this doll and her gaze and blink. What the hell am I looking at? Regardless, it is Alexa Bliss versus Eva Marie. The Evolution takes on the girls' favorite playground. I do not expect a lot from this. I expect shenanigans. Maybe Dewdrop gets hypnotized. And I feel that Alexa Bliss will go over here because it's the stronger gimmick. And also, I still think Marie can't wrestle. Jeff, your thoughts on this match?
Well, let's start off with what we saw last night. Eva slapping Dewdrop. Big mistake. That's going to come back to haunt Eva come SummerSlam. I've got Alexa Bliss on this one because right now you're looking at a 3-on-1. You're looking at Alexa, Lily, and Dewdrop all against Eva. We're going to go with Alexa Bliss for the win.
Yeah, I really can't see anything different. Ironically, if Bray, take care, good sir, was here, he probably would come in and cause some a distraction. We probably get some intergender cinematography special for the next pay-per-view being Extreme Rules. How fitting. Probably call the horror show again. That's not likely to happen. That being said, Mark, your thoughts on this match? Anything further to add?
I really don't have much to add, to be honest with you, but I will say I think Alexa's going to get the win. I think Dewdrop's going to play a factor, and that's pretty much all I got with this one.
All right, and Chris, of course, I leave you. Do you think that Dewdrop is going to be the difference maker in Bliss winning, or do you see by some divine intervention Eva Marie going over?
I don't see Eva going over. I see Eva Marie. I see Dewdrop costing Eva Marie the match, and not really invested in Eva Marie, Dewdrop. They're not growing on me, and I don't really care about this match whatsoever. But I'm going to say I'm going for Miss Bliss to win the match, so Alexa Bliss is getting the win.
And the play will continue. It's as simple as that. And don't worry, NoDQ Galaxy, newcomers and current players alike, your predictions matter and your opinions matter too. They will be heard. The forum will be live after the NoDQ panel. That will be shortly after this Galaxy panel. So stay tuned to NoDQ.com. And with that being said, let's keep moving forward. So it looks like 3MB is always for life as we have two members feuding. And it looks like favor right now is, of course, on the side of the man with the bigger sword. Literally. As Drew McIntyre takes on Jinder Mahal. And honestly, I really don't know what to think about this match. I kind of have little no interest in this match or feud. It just seems like it's something for Drew McIntyre to do that does not involve him going after one way or another the WWE Championship. With that being said, I think McIntyre's got to go over here because how many times you're going to do Jinder Mahal and McIntyre and think that's something worthwhile? Mark, I'll start with you on this match. What's your thoughts?
Good Lord, I think we have opposite opinions. And this is the thing with these two right now, the storyline is over a motorcycle and a sword. There's so many other storylines that could be a part with these two, whether it was them both leaving 3MB, them both getting fired, them both coming back in the best condition of their life, them both becoming champion. I mean, there's so many different stories that they could go with this, and they just haven't. That leads me to believe that there will be. I mean, I know, Noah, you're probably sick of it, but I do think that Jinder gets the win here, and I think that they will rematch it at Extreme Rules and maybe a Punjabi, or how do you say it? A prison match?
Punjabi prison. Punjabi prison.
And I think that's what we're in stake. I think that's what the future is going to hold, in my opinion. I think Jinder goes over here, and I think he's got a couple people, Sheer and Shanky?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically 3-on-1. I mean, I got Jinder picking up the win here.
I think that's fair because according to WWE Logic, with Drew McIntyre having the momentum angle on the go-home angle of Raw, thank you, Aaron Riff, as always, for your reviews. I listen to those. I don't watch the show. I feel like based on WWE Logic, it does make sense for Jinder to win. I just don't think unless Great Khali shows up, Jinder has a chance. But Chris, what about you? Your thoughts on this?
This is going to be a good match between McIntyre and Mahal. I'm gonna say Drew McIntyre is going to get the win here and continue the feud between him and Mahal at the next pay-per-view, where maybe Mahal will pick up the win. And then I see this feud going longer when we get to Saudi Arabia in October. That's where you could finally finish things off in the Punjabi prison. That would be a good match. You have the Punjabi prison in Saudi Arabia. It will bring off so much energy for the Saudi fans and all around the globe watching McIntyre and Mahal in that Punjabi prison. If it does happen at the pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia, but I'm going to say McIntyre gets the win and continues the with Mahal even longer.
I forgot they were going to Saudi Arabia. That's a good point. I like that.
It is a good point, but it also makes me wonder if the Punjabi prison fits the country's identity, or are they going to like shape their own type of prison? Maybe like center Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal as the main event in a special, one-of-a-kind, greatest prison match ever with ridiculous spikes at the top, not made of bamboo, made of solid steel, not fake painted steel and wood. I don't know. Shout out, of course, to Cleaver Con Andrew. He just did his predictions recently, too. Go follow his YouTube channel, folks. Good to see you, Con. Hope you, your family, and health are doing well. I look forward to chatting with you soon. And that leads me to you, Jeff, because Colin is going with Jinder as well. So right now, between the five of us, because he's a proud member, I like to be a NoDQ Galaxy, too. Got to get you on one of these videos one day, brah. It is currently 2-2. Drew and Jinder. Jeff, where do you stand?
Oh, I'm telling you, I had McIntyre winning this, but now that I think of it, and now I'm hearing, especially what Chris had said about either Extreme Rules or the Saudi show, I might have to change my mind and go with Jinder on this one. I totally see, and I didn't even think of it at the time until he mentioned it. And I'm like, oh. Of course. So I'm changing my prediction that I originally wrote down, and I am going to go with Jinder on this one.
All right, fair enough. So right now we have 3 Gingers and 2 Drews. We will likely see what happens very, very soon. All right, now I don't expect everybody to spend longer talking about this match than the match is actually going to be. The WWE Championship is on the line as the Almighty Era is, some would say, in danger. I think you're foolish. As Bobby Lashley defends the title against all people, not Brock Lesnar, not Keith Lee, not Jeff Hardy, who has beaten the NXT champion, but Goldberg. That's right, Goldberg. It is a battle of spear versus spear, the Raw side. Lashley has to win here. End of story. Please let this match only be 3 minutes. That being said, Jeff, your thoughts on this?
Well, I gotta go with Bobby Lashley on this one. As much as I'd like to go with Goldberg and the more, I guess, not really popular vote, but maybe popular in McMahon's eyes, would be Goldberg, especially with his son, he's grown. But especially with him being kind of like a part of this now that he's in the storyline. I still gotta go. I gotta go Lashley on this one. It's, as much as I hate to do it, I got to.
I hate to do it. That's kind of funny. And I get what you're coming from, because again, who's Vince's boy, Goldberg or Lashley? And the thing, Goldberg is part of something that Vince set out to kill and suddenly did. WCW. That being said, Mark, who you got?
I'm going with Lashley too, just to keep it simple. There is a possibility with Goldberg having the huge pops like he's had his last 2 appearances on Raw. He arguably had the biggest pop of the night on Monday. Vince heard that, man. He hears everything. And could he hot potato the title and have Lashley win it back on Monday just for shock value? Possibly. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep it simple and go with Lashley and hope that's what pans out. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right, Chris, do you think maybe there'll be a low blow involved in this match? Because maybe Colin's got a point here. Honestly, the kid might be more over than Goldberg. And how much of that crowd noise is authentic in a piped environment? Hostile environment, I might add. But give me your thoughts on this match. Do you actually see Goldberg becoming the WWE champion?
I don't see it at all, because we all know that Goldberg competes 2 times a year in his contract. So we all know that Bobby is going to retain the WWE Championship. And I could be honest with you guys, I could see maybe a Big E cash-in happening, because we all know the WWE draft is coming up, and there's rumors that Big E is going to be going over to Monday Night Raw. So it could be fitting that Big E cashes in on Bobby Lashley, or I could actually see after the match Brock Lesnar returning and attack Bobby Lashley to set up that match for the WWE Championship.
Yeah, Big E definitely is an X factor here. You gotta wonder who will he cash in. What will be the bigger moment, the bigger pop? Would it be literally the WWE Championship? Considering also what happened with the New Day members at the hands of Bobby Lashley, both Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston getting squashed in one of my most favorite squash matches WWE has done in a long time. Also, by the way, Mark Khan says, happy related birthday to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Had a great birthday.
Yeah, you did. Respect. All right. Well, bottom line is this. Bobby Lashley, kick Goldberg's ass, send him away. All right. I think that was pretty straightforward. This one, though, I mean, what do you go with? Do you go, well, honestly, both are oddballs here. So I guess it just comes down to who are you with, bro? As we have AJ Styles and Omos defending the Raw Tag Team Championships against where they were gone, and now they're back just like that. RK Bro, Randy Orton and Matt Riddle. We've seen how pretty much the thought has been with Omos being the big dominant force that both Randy Orton and Matt Riddle have had it gone through. And we saw how it all kind of played out Monday night, where it looked like it was more so devolving into Randy Orton and AJ Styles. So we've seen kind of a mingling of all 4 of these elements. And everybody, I'm sure, was shocked when Randy Orton RKO'd his bro last week. And then, of course, this week, they came back together. And that was probably one of everybody's favorite moments of the show. I still say WWE does not understand or value tag team wrestling enough, but when it comes to entertainment value, I cannot deny that RK Bro is entertaining, it is engaging, and I can see them moving merch. And it's Randy Orton, a Vince guy. I gotta believe that the titles are gonna change hands here. If it's not this team, then AJ Styles and Omos are never losing these titles as far as I can see. But I think RK Bro wins the gold. Chris, your thoughts on this match?
My thoughts is this is going to be an entertaining Raw Tag Team title match. And I'm going to tell you, with Riddle and his character, he should never trust the tag partners that Randy Orton was with. He has turned on them. And we all know you can't trust Randy as a tag partner. Randy loves doing stuff on his own. That's why he is a 14-time champion. He did it on his own. He never needed evolution. He never needed legacy. He never needed the authority. He just needed to be on his own. And that's how Randy was. But with this, it's going to be a match. I had a prediction that RK Bro was going to be the next challengers after the Viking Raiders lost to Styles and Omos back in Money in the Bank. I'm going to tell you guys, it's time that the Raw Tag Team division changed. And I think Randy Orton and Riddle, RK Bro, is going to be the new Raw Tag Team champions, and what it's going to look like for the fall of 2021 with WWE and heading into the WWE draft. So RK Bro will become the Raw Tag Team champions on Saturday.
Bro. All right, fair enough. Mark, your thoughts on this match? Colin brought up a point with Omos having his own music. It seems like now Omos may be becoming more over than AJ in Vince's eyes. Maybe he could push him forward as a big top singles guy. I would like to see actually Omos and Lashley confrontation. That'd probably be interesting to me. Do you think that Omos and AJ are on the verge of a split and it starts with them losing the titles this Saturday at SummerSlam?
Yeah, but I personally I don't know how the split's gonna happen, but I think RK Bro will win the titles. Apparently, I don't know for sure, but I was listening to a Sean Ross Sapp podcast right before I got on, and apparently they've been practicing this match at house shows, so it should be a good match. Everything should be like, in sync for the most part. I can't wait to see the finish. I know hopefully they can pull a RKO on Omos, and I can't wait to see that. But like Chris said, I see a big opportunity for some merch sales. I think Omos and AJ has carried Omos as far as he can at this point. I think Omos can step out and maybe, take that next step. Maybe they need AJ for some upcoming singles programs. Either way, I think RK Bro walks out tag team champions.
All right. And Jeff, Colin suggests that RK Bro maybe drops them to the Viking Raiders down the line. Being the only other tag team at this point, Monday Night Raw, you got to wonder with the inevitable draft coming up, will they still be on Raw? Is that the way to go? Your thoughts on the short term for right now? Is RK Bro going over?
Absolutely. It would be foolish not for them to do this, to go over, because with them teaming up since April, really, and then the seven-week layoff because Orton got injured, and now they're back. There's no reason why they shouldn't be Raw Tag Team Champions after Saturday. And just to let you know, when you mentioned AJ Styles, my cat came out. And the funny story on that is one night I was watching wrestling, AJ Styles was on, and she had her eyes glued to the TV. So she's going AJ and Omos, but I'm going RK Bro.
Well, respect to your cat, recognizing one of the greatest wrestlers in the world, but right now, bro. That's all I got to say about that. I would actually love to see Randy Orton and Matt Riddle do like a stack effect like AJ and Omos does with their finisher, like back at WrestleMania. And that's how they pull off the RKO on Omos and double pin him for the win. I think Omos, though, is the guy that's going to eat the fall here, because if you can overcome the Giants, I think that's the story enough for this odd couple. Bro.
Absolutely.
That being said, we go from one side tag team action to the other side tag team action in Control-C, Control-V. Because literally, this is the only other team that could possibly give the Usos a run for their money. Again, it's Rey and Dominic Mysterio, the former SmackDown Tag Team Champions, taking on the Bloodline, the Usos, for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. And as far as I know, this time, not in the kickoff. Seriously, you put the Usos in the kickoff, You went backwards. Then again, I figure about one half the. I'm not going to go into that. Go check out the review for thoughts on that. Anyway, it's the SmackDown Tag Team Championships with the Mysterios and the Usos. A battle of families. Once again, these two had a banger of a match during the Money in the Bank kickoff, which I did check out during my time in Nashville, Tennessee. But with that being said, you don't bet against Roman. Spoiler alert for my later prediction. And right now, who's with Roman? The Bloodline. You don't go against the Bloodline. I'm keeping it short, sweet, and simple here. The Usos have to retain. Mark, your thoughts on this match.
Absolutely. I mean, you said everything I wanted you to say. Usos 100%, 1,000,000,000% the Usos. I really don't have too much to explain about this. I think that this feud might have run its course. You might see a Dominic turn, maybe. I don't know, but I definitely think the Usos come out tag champions still.
I feel like Dominic right now is getting a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Comfortable in the spotlight and maybe wondering if his dad is holding him down or maybe taking some from it. Imagine if the devolvement between literally father and son gets as personal as Batista and Rey Mysterio back at Survivor Series 2009. Now, think about that. Chris, your thoughts on this match? And is the Mysterios on the verge of an internal family feud?
Personally, I think so. I've been reading. I'm Colin Andrews. Shout out to you, Colin Andrews. I hope you're doing good. I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. The Usos are gonna retain this Saturday and keep their SmackDown Tag Team Championship. And I am saying Rey is keeping Dominic back a little bit. And I could see it down the road that Dominic is going to be the one to turn heel and turn on his father. And then we're going to get a storyline with Rey and Dominic, the first ever father versus son match. And I could see it maybe happen at WrestleMania in Dallas between Dominic and Rey. And we could get maybe a passing of the torch, and this could be Rey's final match in WWE, and it will be the passing of the torch. Dominic will take over the Mysterio's legacy in WWE. So Usos retain, and that's it.
I like that idea. That's definitely some long-term storytelling, considering the only long-term storytelling right now towards WrestleMania is how Roman and The Rock could come face-to-face. That being said, Jeff, you wonder at this point, is Dominic the guy to retire Rey? Imagine the father passing the torch to his son, but in a more violent, forceful way. Maybe even his mask at stake. As we figure about that for now, let your mind settle just on this match. You got the Usos retaining, right?
I do. You know how much of a Mysterio fan I am. Mysterio ranks right up there with Steamboat for me. I've always liked the guy. I like the fact that his son has been in this business technically since 2005?
2005.
Yeah. So, and with him getting in the ring, he's looking better and better, in my opinion, every week, Dominic is. But think of this. Everyone's saying Dominic's going to turn on Rey. What if Rey turned on Dominic?
The father jealous of his son. His son
exactly. Him. We have seen Rey as a heel before, back in the WCW, the Filthy Animal days. We have seen him as a heel. It's not uncommon that he played the part really well. I kind of see Dominic taking the heel part, but it would be very interesting if Rey took the heel part. So who knows? I like the idea of the father versus son match. Something I think we will see down the road. Again, passing the torch. I have the Usos, as I said, retaining the titles on Saturday. As much as I'd like to go Mysterios, my gut is telling me the Usos.
Keep it on lockdown. It's as simple as that. All right. Well, I think we've gone pretty quick through some of these matches. Now, this one I feel like we can digest and really dive into a little bit, because here's one thing I thought WWE was not capable of doing, that's long-term storytelling. I think Seth Rollins versus Edge has achieved that when you consider them going back all the way to Edge's neck and the risk of it being permanently destroyed at the foot of Seth back in 2014. These two basically have been intermingling with each other. It's almost like this match was destiny, as it seems that each time Edge has returned, Seth has been on the short end. He's been shafted. And now it's like Seth cannot take it anymore. He has to win this. I'll be honest with you. This is actually one of 3 matches this entire weekend, top 3 that I'm very looking forward to. And I'm very curious how this plays out. Will Seth even resort to maybe using Edge's spear against him while he keeps talking about stomping his neck? That being said, it's the past versus the present. Who is the future? Rollins has always been called to be the future, literally endorsed by Triple H during the Authority era. This match, though, I feel could go either way, and honestly, I wonder if this one is a one-off. But considering Seth right now and his direction, I'm kind of torn on this. But I could also see Seth falling to shenanigans, and something in me right now feels like the architect is going to have a plan and take the ultimate opportunity and steal the win. I actually have Seth going over. With that being said, let's see how you guys interpret this story and this match, and maybe where both these men go. Let's have a little bit of fun with this one. And Jeff, I will start with you.
Oh boy. Well, everyone knows that there's a history, as you said, of the neck issue with Seth causing the neck issue to Edge. I remember there was another person who ended up with a neck injury that had to retire at the time. Sting. Yes. So neck injuries in Seth Rollins matches are obviously known. This is a great story, though. As you said, goes back to 2014. It's 7 years build up. And this is definitely one of my matches of the night, I think you'll find. I have Edge edging out, no pun intended, and edging out on this one. It's going to be a great, I'm thinking maybe 30-minute match, easy between the two of them. But I have Edge taking this one.
Well, considering that time restricted to get the show done in time for everybody to go over and see the real fight across the street, so I've heard, I'm very curious which matches get the most time and how they play out. And this one, to me, definitely feels like one that deserves the longer amount of time. Chris, you're next. Your thoughts on this? What you got?
Well, I said in the NoDQ Galaxy chat, I'm still tossed up about Edge. Rollins. My heart is saying Edge. My mind is saying Seth. This has been the build for since 2014 when the Authority put Edge on the bank briefcase that Seth should have pulled the trigger on Edge, but he didn't. And then 7 years later, Seth said to Edge, he wished I pulled the trigger to end his career. And I feel in a way this could be Edge of Seth saying, okay, Seth could get himself back into the Universal Championship picture and defeat Edge at SummerSlam. But I could see it happen, but I think Edge needs this win more. And look at these two with Rollins and Edge. Rollins, he won Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble. He is a 2-time Beast Slayer, multiple champions. Edge, 2-time Royal Rumble winner. He always lost like a champ, won the Royal Rumble. He lost the championship match, and he had many championships. He tagged with many different superstars, and these two are similar with Edge and Seth Rollins. And I love Edge and I like Rollins. Rollins is like the next Edge in this era, but as of long-term and storyline sense, if you're gonna make this feud go longer, or this might be a one and done, I don't know how it's gonna play out, but I think Seth needs this the most, and Edge is gonna put over the young talent. But Edge, he wants to fight champ. He wants to become champion. Seth, he wants to get back in the Universal title picture that Edge stole from him at Money in the Bank. I personally, as of now, my prediction is I think I'm gonna have to go with Seth Rollins to defeat Edge. That is as of now, but I could have a change of heart and go with Edge on Saturday. But as of now, I gotta maybe go with Seth because of the storyline and makes sense.
Well, we've already seen Titantron promos and in-ring promos from both men, but it feels like Seth Rollins right now is in a Jericho state of mind when he first went to AEW and said, I had to beat the Hangman. Seth feels like this has to be a must-win for him. And honestly, I don't feel like this is the end, but I feel like this is definitely the next step going forward. And while they keep talking about the neck, I put this towards you. The next pay-per-view, Mark, is Extreme Rules. What is one of the primary things that Edge is connected to? Tables, ladders, and chairs. Honestly, that could be the big match that could determine the next person to challenge Roman, and could be the big match that decides the thing between these two. I also think it could be a chairs match because one thing Seth has not tried to do is a concerto. And it would not surprise me if Edge tries to resort to that too. Thinking about the way this could go and the fact we still have the go-home SmackDown angle too. There has to be something left big between these two to say, while it feels like it's Edge versus, in Edge's word, Edge light. Right now, though, Mark, where do you stand?
Oh man, this is a tough one for me. This is actually the toughest match of the card. Actually, there's like a 3 or 4 year period. If you would have asked me who my favorite wrestler was in WWE, I would have said Seth. So it's even now he's still in my top 5, and it's hard to ever pick against him. But this is the thing: Seth Rollins is bulletproof to me. I think he can take a loss here. But here's the one statistic that is kind of like it's sunk in my head, and it's Edge hasn't won in front of people yet.
He has not.
Yep. Why not here? Get a big win, get that pop in front of fans, and see. I want the story to be longer. I don't want it to be a one-off. I think they can really milk this for everything that it's worth. But with that being said, in order to do that, I think that the heel would need to win, and I think Seth is slowly creeping up to being on fire. I think he's going to be arriving in front of the head of the table's doormat here any day now. But still, I still think, how can they position him to be in that title picture with a loss? I don't know. But you know what? I'm gonna go with Edge, because I do think that they're going to give him that win in front of fans for the first time since he's been back. And that's really what I'm hanging my hat on right now.
The big moment for Edge on the stage where they say this is their WrestleMania for the year. I can see where you're coming from. But again, do you look at the story? Do you look at the moment? Do you look at how the victory is obtained? Many different ways this could go. This is definitely one of the more polarizing matches, I feel like, of the entire weekend. So good stuff all around, gentlemen. And I'm very curious what the rest of the team in the Galaxy will put towards this too. I sense several of us are going to change our thoughts after SmackDown too. With that being said, let's move on to our next match. Again, it's a WrestleMania rematch here. But does it feel a little different? I don't know. Unless you call Sasha Banks trying to be the lead of Destiny's Child, as she has her own entourage. You saw what happened. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's Bianca Belair defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against the boss herself, Sasha Banks, who now has her own entourage in Selena Vega and Carmella. I almost feel like right now Sasha Banks is truly trying to be untouchable and that heel badass boss that many people want to see again. In order to fully accommodate that, though, she does need the SmackDown Women's Championship back. So, do you give Sasha Banks 2 losses in a row at the hand of the Braid? Or do you give Sasha Banks back the title and you see what direction the SmackDown Women's Division goes, where right now there's literally no other competition? I feel like they've bottlenecked themselves here, but there's potential with the Sasha Banks faction. But that being said, the champion can retain via DQ. It would not surprise me if the Braid comes into play, and next thing you know, Sasha loses it, they all attack her, and this match is once again revisited at the next pay-per-view. Because let's be honest, guys, nobody else right now is in the women's title picture. They have nothing. So clearly, I don't think this is over. This is just escalating. I somehow have Bianca retaining, and I think it's going to be by DQ. Mark, your thoughts on this match?
Oh man, outside of the rumor mill saying that this match might not happen, I guess these two were pulled from a couple of house show events, and they don't
Yes.
really, with no explanation. So I don't. So hopefully this goes through. But that's a footnote to my answer. My answer is I think that Sasha does win here. I do think she gets that title back because I think there will be a third match. How could you not have a third match after that first WrestleMania match? I mean, I think I think Sasha get her win back, and I think we'll ultimately get a rubber match. And I think Sasha will, with her new alliance, with her affiliations, I think Sasha walks out of SummerSlam women's champion.
I think that's fair. Like I said, if she doesn't win by the title, I feel like she is going to DQ. Something has to give here. There's no way this is ending at SummerSlam. Chris, your thoughts on this? Who you got?
My thing is, this is not going to end at SummerSlam. I do kind of see the last time we had a championship match ended at a DQ finish at SummerSlam. It was back in 2019 when we had Randy Orton and Kofi Kingston.
Kofi Kingston. Yep.
I
was there. I was there live for that too.
That was a no DQ finish, and then look at it. The next pay-per-view, you had a clean finish. Kofi defeated Randy and retained the WWE Championship. And then we all know what happened after that, but we're not going to talk about that. We're talking about Sasha and Bianca. I do see a DQ finish happening because we all know what Vince loves to do. He loves for pay-per-views to have a DQ finish, and the fans are going to get upset. We're all going to get upset, and it's going to be like, okay, this is Vince doing again. But I could see a DQ finish happening, and then you have at Extreme Rules, you have the match with Sasha and Bianca have a clean finish there. But I do see Bianca keeping her championship by a DQ finish. If it does happen to be like that, then Bianca's going to keep it. And then at the next pay-per-view, you give the championship back to Sasha Banks. I know this match is rumored that it might get canceled. It might get pulled because of Banks and Bianca Belair missed 2 house shows due to unforeseen circumstances. So I don't know what's going on, if one of them is injured or is one of them or both of them might have COVID. We don't know what's going on. So if this match does get pulled, I'm going to be upset about it. But if this match does go down this Saturday, it's going to be a great match. So I think Bianca's going to actually, I'm actually going to change my thought here. Sasha's going to be the new champion.
All right, then. A lot of things to think about here, especially with the unknown literally being, is this match going to happen? I guess we'll truly find out if we see both these ladies confront each other on SmackDown. Because, again, we still have to see the go-home SmackDown, folks. Jeff, your thoughts on this? New champ, retaining, DQ, or clean?
Well, we know that Sasha has Zelina and Carmella, right?
Yep.
So, what if Belair went out, got a couple people to be in her corner? Shotzi and Nox. That would be a great duo to have in your corner. Shotzi and Nox. That would be awesome to see. And that would even the playing field. But that's just a shot in the dark kind of thing. But well, one that I'm hoping for. Anyway, this is one that was really tough for me because I could see Sasha getting the title back, but at the same time, I don't want to see this title being passed around like a bowl of potatoes around the dinner table. You know, it's just I can't. The women's matches have to be more meaningful, and if you're going to hold the title, they've really got to be more meaningful. You can't just pass it around from person to person to person, kind of like between Charlotte and Sasha when they first fought for the Raw Women's title. I don't want to see that crap. I don't want to see that crap. I want to see Belair keep this title for a while, and I have a gut feeling that she will hold on to this title at the end of SummerSlam.
I feel like the way this ends is going to have something to do with Belair's hair because, again, that's the biggest thing we have seen, talked about, and used. I mean, literally, Sasha Banks was choking her with it in the bank statement last week on Friday Night SmackDown. But this should be an interesting match nonetheless, if it happens. Now, the other one, okay. I get you're trying to be something, but there's a difference between being completely it and almost it. And you can't use almost for 50-50 win or lose, feel good either way. I really don't know what to think right now when it comes to the Raw Women's Division and the Raw Women's Championship, and especially this gimmick being the thing to hold the Raw Women's Championship. Not the wrestler, but the gimmick. But regardless, here we are. It's Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair both involved in championship match again in Triple Threat Standards against Nikki, I believe I'm saying this, ASH, almost a superhero. Good Lord Almighty. All right, let's go ahead and think about this. We've had Nikki, I'm just saying Nikki for Pete's sake. We have Nikki basically facing both her adversaries in losing efforts. Did get a window over Charlotte. Then we've seen literally Rhea and Nikki tag up against Charlotte, trying to attack her. And then this past Monday night, we had Charlotte and of all tag partners, I'm not saying the name, they beat the two. Now, the conventional wisdom here, to keep it short, sweet, and simple, is when Charlotte Flair's involved, you don't bet against her. But again, it's triple threat. Who do you protect? Who eats the fall? There you go. And literally, it seems like Vince is trying to drive as much money out of this almost superhero gimmick as he could. Maybe this goes with the wild idea he wants WWE to be Marvel. You bloody, senile old man. That being said, because of this madman's vision of such good shit, I feel like somehow he's going to have this continue. Because again, who else do you got? And Charlotte, who was recently in Mexico with Andrade and Ric Flair, you wonder if Vince is going to be petty about that, considering she missed out on a house show in Charlotte where the fans wanted Charlotte, according to what I heard. I'm probably going to lose a point here, but I don't care. It's WWE logic. It feels like it just has to happen because the only way you beat Charlotte is by unconventional means. Case in point, Money in the Bank. And Nikki's being booed out the building. Go see now, crazy and dark. I think Charlotte's getting it back. Chris, keep it short, sweet, and simple. Who you got?
You had to start with me first on this one.
Hey, I already saved you for the best match for last. I figured I had to do a contrast.
After this match, we got the U.S. title match to discuss.
I know.
Okay. Well, this is going to be an entertaining match. You got Charlotte and Rhea fighting Money in the Bank, and you had Charlotte win. I was upset on that because we all thought it was going to we're going to see Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch at SummerSlam. But Charlotte Flair, she won the Raw Women's Championship. And then Monday night came around, 24 hours. Almost a superhero shows up out of nowhere and won the Raw Women's Championship. And I was like, what? Wait a minute. Where's Becky Lynch at? But I think Becky's coming back at SummerSlam no matter what. Hopefully it does happen. Personally, this is going to be good. I saw this triple threat match when I was in Pittsburgh on July 24th, and I did hear the crowd reaction that night. They booed Nikki ASH like crazy. They booed her when she came for her entrance, and then when they did the announcement for the title, they booed Nikki ASH, and I said, why are they booing Nikki? And I understand. She is an introducer. They are introducing her. And I kind of admit that, but I'm going to tell you guys this. Nikki, she wants to overcome everything. And she wants to put whoever character you are, you got to get over with your character and develop it more and more. I actually see if Nikki ASH doesn't win on Saturday, I kind of see Charlotte Flair gain the championship back because we don't know if Becky's coming back, and maybe if Becky does come back, we could see maybe Becky and Charlotte being revisiting once Becky gets back. But I'm going to say it to you, and I'm going to say it. I think I'm going to admit this. I'm going to go, if I lose a point or whatever, Nikki ASH retains the Raw Women's Championship.
I mean, as she says in her promos, I almost did it. Mark, I saw your paper, but please, for everybody who didn't see it, your pick.
Oh man, I'm going with Charlotte. You said the exact words that I wrote down actually. And this is never bet against the Queen, and that's exactly what you said. And this is why I said this. I listened to Bully Ray and Dave LaGreca talk about this feud for about 40 minutes this morning, and I could go on and on and on, and I'm not going to. I'm just gonna leave it at I think Charlotte wins here.
It's as simple as that. And again, with Triple Threat, who's the one to eat the fall? If they want to truly do Nikki and Charlotte 1-on-1 for the title, you have Rhea eat the fall here. Jeff, your thoughts on this?
Well, first of all, let me put this out there. I personally love the Nikki Ash character because we haven't had a superhero. I know. I saw you look. We haven't had a superhero since the Hurricane, and Shane Helms actually loved this idea. Now, this idea was not Vince. This idea was all Nikki, and it wasn't that much she had creative on. It was what she wanted to do with her new.
Right.
I personally like it. I like seeing she against all of y'all, and I'm going with Ripley to take this one. Now, the reason why, yes, we have Becky Lynch coming back. I personally am sick and tired of seeing Becky Charlotte. I'm done. I'm done with that. Becky Ripley would be an amazing match. And I think that Ripley is going to squeeze this one out and win the Raw Women's Championship.
I like that train of thought. But again, this is the main roster. This isn't NXT. And as far as we know, it won't be after TakeOver either. But we'll talk about that later. But hey, I like the variety. But again, we will see if Nikki can almost pull it out. All right. Let's see here. Ash straight bores off my ass. Well, Colin, he tells you like it is, whether you agree with it or not. And all I got to say is Nikki Cross, I believe she is definitely one of the more favorable people in the back, in the locker room, definitely more favorable personality and human being. But again, as far as this gimmick goes, good luck, Nikki. I hope that you not only almost succeed with it, but you actually highly achieve with it too. All right, moving on from there. Hey, fella, you like a fight, even though it makes no sense? Sheamus defends the United States Championship against not the guy that beat him, but a random person that came out, I want to challenge you, and really has not been in the big spotlight since his tag team match with Bad Bunny at WrestleMania. It's Damian Priest. Damian Priest and Sheamus challenged down for the United States Championship. This is going to be an interesting affair, but it would be nice to see Damian Priest actually get something worthwhile. But considering what I've seen lately, I just don't know if right now the WWE has put me in the way to believe that Priest not only can win this, but deserves to, even though I think he should. This one's a weird one. Mid-card title. The heck with it. Let's see what happens. Wild card, flip a coin. We're in Vegas, right? Why not take a gamble? I'll say Priest gets the title and keep it like that. Jeff, your thoughts on this match? Who you got?
This is the first big match since Bad Bunny, as you mentioned, at WrestleMania. I'm finally glad that he's getting the spotlight he deserves. because Damian Priest is an amazing athlete, and not to mention outside of the ring, he's also amazing as well. I mean, the things that he does behind the scenes and backstage, what you see on TV. I think he is the perfect person to hold that United States title. Therefore, my pick, Damian Priest, to be the new U.S. champion.
And please don't be a screwy finish. Mark, your thoughts on this match. I think it's time for a change in the United States title division.
Sheamus has been kind of on a roll. He's been doing some good work, but see, with Priest, I feel like they got to keep him strong. He's been winning all his matches.
Yes.
And this is the thing. A lot of people don't even remember this. If he wins, he would be a 2-time U.S. champion, correct?
I don't think he's actually held.
I don't think he won it.
I don't think he's actually held any title yet in the WWE, because the previous United States champion was Matt Riddle, and he got that off him at WrestleMania.
Right.
I thought he was a U.S. champion at one point. Well, you know what? I definitely feel like this is Damian's time then. I feel like he should definitely have some type of gold, and I think they should capitalize off him, keep him strong, and keep his winning ways up, and actually give us a payoff after all these wins. I mean, we've seen him against Morrison and Miz 1,000 times. I think that he's been feuding with Sheamus, it seems like, for 2 months, and I'm finally ready for the payoff, and I think the payoff would be Priest winning.
Yeah, and Colin had a suggestion here, Chris. He thinks maybe Gallus, name drop, was last night on Raw. He'd actually like to see the Gallus boys show up and line themselves with Sheamus. Now, I think that's a long shot with Gallus boys on top in NXT UK, dealing with, of course, the Heritage Cup and always being invited to a coffee. I think that would be wild, but I just don't see that happening. And then to verify with you all, he was the North American champion in NXT.
Yep.
So with that being said, Chris, do you think Damian Priest should be the new United States champion, despite the fact we had, what they call it now, not the one contenders, championship contenders matches with like Ricochet and other people that aren't even Damian Priest, basically defying the logic of why you deserve to challenge for championship. But despite that, as far as outside this style picture booking goes, Priest has been on a roll. So do you think that means he should be the next United States champion?
Well, in my opinion, it's going to be a good fight between Sheamus and Damian Priest. I'm going to tell you guys it's time for change. It's time to finally get the champion off of Fella. It's time that the infamy is born. It's time for Damian Priest to finally get his first championship on the main roster in WWE. So my pick is Damian Priest becomes the new United States Championship.
And thus his name will live forever. All right, so we're all unanimous here. I think that's probably one of the few. Yes, Mark.
I wanted to add one thing. The person who I was getting confused with, the reason why I suggested Damian had already won it first, and I was thinking of Riddle. Riddle had the U.S. title, and and his run, it was so forgettable, and I just had those they were crossed. That was my error.
You're good.
Hey, Mark, it's simple. It's called a botch, and as wrestling fans, we all do it. It's all good. What's wrestling content without botching, right? Botchamania wouldn't exist. Hi, Matthew. Anyway, that being said, if there's a botch in this match, I will be highly, highly shocked, as this is the match. And if they do this at the beginning, I'm pretty sure everyone would just leave. This has to be it. This has to be the closer. People would say this match is literally careers in the making. The head of the table, the tribal chief. Roman Reigns defends the Universal Championship against the guy going for his 17th title, the guy who literally retconned the CM Punk vibe, the guy who literally said that you're the one that drove Dean Ambrose out of WWE. Damn. Again, how do you out-promo this guy? You know who I'm talking about, because Chris is wearing him. And his name is John Cena!
Dun, dun, dun.
Thank you. So with that being said, I am very looking forward to this match and the story both these men will play out. Not only verbally, I'm sure we'll get verbal jacking galore throughout this, but But how this plays out, Roman simply says, I'm going to smash you. I'm going to send you back to Hollywood. And John Cena, all he says he needs is 1, 2, 3, which is ironic because doesn't he also have a submission? And how has Roman been winning? The guillotine. Both these men are diverse in both styles. So truly, this match could go either way. And I feel like this could stay pure one-on-one, despite the fact Cena did bring up, you got lackeys in the Usos. Will the Usos get involved here? I highly doubt Paul Heyman's going to do anything besides scream and have high blood pressure. That being said, people have been wanting a John Cena heel turn since he played that tattooed drug dealer type character in that movie way back when. And you're never going to get fuckonomics back, people. Sorry. But that being said, his promo kind of subtly gave me heelish vibes. He felt this confident, but I don't see John Cena resorting to dirty tactics. But regardless, it is Roman freaking Reigns. It is the next step in putting him over as the guy to carry this company for generations forward. My good friend that's a New Japan Pro Wrestling fan believes that at this point, Roman Reigns might as well have an Okada run with this title as he literally dawns near 1 year holding the Universal Championship. We get pontificate and talk about this match all night, but it comes down to one thing. The entire WWE Universe and the world will acknowledge Roman Reigns. Still, the Universal Champion, in my ultimate honest opinion. And that's all I got to say about that. Now, with that being said, I know a certain member has asked me cordially to save him for last, and I respect that, so I will. So, Jeff, you're next. Your thought on this match and the story to play out. Does John Cena make history, or does Roman once again prove why he is the tribal chief, the head of the table?
Well, see, this was probably the toughest one for me to predict. I want to see John get the 17th title, but at the same time, Roman has been on a tear being the Universal Champion for the last year. As long as Heyman does the John Cena remix, I'm all set for the night. That's just, that's the only thing that sticks in my head. So you'll see. I'm sure you'll see it. But I'm thinking Roman's going to take this. I mean, as much as I want John Cena, and mind you, Ric Flair has already given him the okay to beat 16. He's already given him that okay. I just don't think now is the time to do it. I think if that's going to happen, it's going to be WrestleMania. What better place to have the 17th title? So, with that being said, I see Roman continuing on as the tribal chief, and the bloodline will still have all the gold at the end of SummerSlam.
I think you pretty much summed up our final picture right there, as we just see John Cena literally just falling at Roman's foot in triumph over his victory. Mark, put it together, man. Your thoughts on this, and what do you got?
This is kind of like the third WrestleMania main event for me that we didn't get, that we should have probably got. See, a lot of people would probably assume Cena wouldn't win because he's going to go back to the movies after August, but you guys know he is booked for the Garden Show, and they could hot potato, make him lose at a Saudi Arabia if they wanted to. Ric Flair is gone now. It doesn't really matter. I mean, and he is going to get the 17th, but it's not going to be here. I think Reigns wins here, and I tried to think of every reason I could to go with Cena, because if he don't lose here, if Reigns doesn't lose here, I don't see him losing for maybe possibly another year. So if he doesn't lose here, expect another 300, possibly at least another 300 days as champ out of Reigns. But overall, short and sweet, going with the Reigns.
Believe that. All right, Chris, you told me to save you last for a reason. You're wearing a John Cena shirt. This is your time. State your case.
Well, I don't know if I'm going for John Cena yet, but I'm just wearing it just for fun and being on with you guys. But this is gonna be. This is the match that I've been waiting for since John Cena's return back to WWE. When this was announced, Cena, Reigns, SummerSlam. I was all in for it. I've been waiting for this match to finally happen. This is the match I'm looking forward to. The rest of the card, forget it. This is the match I'm looking forward to. And what John Cena and Roman Reigns said in their promo on Friday, oh my God. I was shocked that Roman Reigns brought up Nikki Bella. That was shocking. That was a shocker. Then the next thing topped it. You almost ruined Seth Rollins. And heck, you ran Dean Ambrose of WWE. I was like, and I did hear that both Vince McMahon and Dean Ambrose / John Moxley are on good terms with each other. And he was in the promo package with Edge and Seth Rollins. So eventually down the road, Dean Ambrose will be coming back to WWE, but we don't know when. And what Cena said, he built Suplex City. He hanged in there for 1, 2, 3. He hang in there and look at it. Brock Lesnar dominated John Cena. He hung in there for 1, 2, 3. Cena said Roman's gonna spear him, punch him after another DC name, punch him after another DC name.
Yeah, I wonder who he's referencing.
Yeah.
That's Superman. That's Superman.
Of course.
And he only has to hang in there for 1, 2, 3. I personally believe I'm all in when I'm saying this. Yeah, Ric Flair, he's gone. He released from WWE. He went off with Andrade El Idolo to AEW and at Triple Mania. And that's a good thing. And Ric Flair did say that John Cena, he could break the record. And I feel like the summer of Cena, look at what ticket sales has happened. The ticket sales, people are buying tickets because they know John Cena is going to be in their town. And I did, and Mark, you had a good point. He is booked for the Garden Show. I personally believe the Garden Show, that gave me an intriguing thing. Is this finally the time you say Rome, with the stuff Roman has said, he's the head of the table, the tribal chief. He's been talking. But John Cena is the only guy that could shut him up.
Right.
And he did.
And and I'm going to tell you, Cena has been saying good things. They've been pushing Roman for too long. The system is broken. He's been protected by the Usos, the Shield. He's been protected. That is not working. He has Paul Heyman. Is that working? I feel like in a way Paul Heyman is protecting the head of the table here. And only John Cena, he has to hang in there for 1, 2, 3.
Right.
I personally feel, to my eyes, I feel the summer of Cena is going to end off a high note. I personally believe, yeah, if John Cena wins, Roman can get the championship right back, and you have the storyline with him and The Rock. I can see it happening down the road with Roman and The Rock. With John Cena, I think the summer of Cena could end on a high note, and hey, maybe John Cena will blow Roman Reigns a kiss goodbye. And then Cena is out of the Legion Stadium faster because, and with Roman, he never tasted, what's the word that John Cena said this past Friday?
Humiliation.
Humiliation. Yeah.
No, embarrassed.
Embarrassment.
Roman
Reigns
Similar,
has
similar
never-
terms. Either way,
Yeah.
wah, wah, wah. He'll be an answer to a
Roman
trivia
Reigns-
question.
Roman Reigns has never felt embarrassed ever in his
It's
wrestling
true.
career. And I'm going to tell you this as of right now. I'm going to have to say it to you guys. I think John Cena is going to become a 17-time champion at the end of SummerSlam. As of right now. As of now, John Cena's my pick to win.
Well,
Wow.
talk about pulling a Hail Mary, man. I respect your guts. And if he does, I will certainly acknowledge you, for you were right. If he does, I'll get you even a NoDQ shirt.
Here's a thought.
John, he's just on another level, Roman Reigns is. Anyway, what you got, Jeff?
Here's the thought. What if, because we've seen it before. We've seen it with Walter, 800 plus days. We've seen it with Dunn, 500 plus days. We've seen it with Asuka. What if Roman is one of those kinds of champions and he'll hold it for another year? What if? I mean, it could possibly happen. We haven't seen a title held on to one person hold on to a title since Hogan. All right. And we're talking back in what, 80 in the 80s. Has not held on to a title for that huge amount of time. What if this is Roman's time to do it?
Roman could be up there with the greats like Hulk Hogan, Bruno Sammartino, those names you mentioned as well, going outside the company. Nick Aldis, 1,000 plus days. And again, as my friend Eric alluded to, Okada had an IWGP reign for literally nearly 800 days, combined 1,400 days. So the sky's the limitless, literally, no pun intended, for Roman Reigns and how far he takes the Universal Championship as well as this Tribal Chief character. Because ever since he's adapted this identity, he truly has become the hottest commodity in all of WWE. Even people thought Roman should be the guy and didn't believe it. Now, even more believe it now. Beating John Cena under these circumstances at SummerSlam, I think will further solidify that. Well, I do like Colin's idea of bringing back Thuganomics Cena. Nostalgia, man. Dead in the water. That's never going to happen.
No.
But never say never.
No.
Yes.
Jeff, what about, because you brought up a point about that Roman could keep the championship for a whole year. You didn't say this guy's name. This guy held a championship in this era for a whole year and dropping the championship at SummerSlam. You didn't say Brock Lesnar.
That's right. I did not.
Because I didn't want to say Brock Lesnar. There's a different no. But you're right. You're right. I mean, I think that having him hold on to a title as you know this long, why not extend it longer? You'll beat Brock Lesnar. I mean, he's already on the verge of beating Punk, because Punk had it 400 and some odd days.
And he dropped it to The Rock.
Yeah, and he dropped exactly. But I mean, it's very well possible that situation could happen. I do have, I do like your pick of Cena. I could see him winning the 17th. But I mean, what if they take this with Roman another year and have him be like the new Walter? Can you imagine Roman versus Walter? Oh my God!
That's Worlds Collide Survivor Series Epic Dream Match proportions. As John Cena alluded to in an interview with Chris Van Vliet, the flaw with him going heel is they have not found that key top babyface, and Roman could literally morph into that babyface if they choose to escalate this John Cena thing into a heelish approach. And again, that promo definitely gave subtle shadings. But again, folks, we'll have to wait and see. That being said, that was the hottest part of the summer. And let's move on now to a very interesting but quick, simple take on TakeOver, because the way we know NXT is likely to change forever. And I don't know about you, but they've already hurt my overall excitement for this show on a multitude of levels because of what we've seen with Raw and SmackDown on screen and beforehand. So we're going to go a little quicker with this. And here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to go roundtable discussion with you all. And I want you guys to literally give me your hot take on the match you most look forward to and your key pick for that. And then speed pick for your rest. So that being said, you already know
Right.
which match I'm looking forward to the most. And I can pontificate on La Ligne Generale all night long, but the NoDQ panel awaits me soon. But I will simply say this. In a match that is about integrity of the sport, in a match that is about a man finding self-resolve and renewed willpower and comfort in his violence and who he is, in a match where you think truly an unstoppable force cannot be dethroned. History has been made here on American soil with this title, as Pete Dunne's incredible reign fell at the hands of La Ligne Generale. But that being said, Ilya Dragunov given a match of the year contendership, literally gurgling blood, not submitting, but his body failing. Will we get a similar picture? Does that mental game still reside in Ilya Dragunov's mind? Or do we see the unthinkable? And does Ilya Dragunov make La Ligne Generale gefallen? This is my number one match. This is the title I care about the most personally, and that is the NXT UK Championship, where I believe the match is sacred, not only by his philosophy, but what NXT UK shows and carries. I look at Walter and I think about who he has beaten, who he has overcome: Rampage Brown, A-Kid, Trent, Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne. The list goes on and on. Now, there's still a couple people he has yet to face that I want to see. Ilya Dragunov, though, he literally has sacrificed his body against all the greats. He's paid a debt to Joe Coffey. He took on Cesaro in a classic one-off at NXT UK TakeOver Cardiff. He has overcome Ced Gradwell in a brutal NoDQ affair. He overcame the bullying and the psychological warfare with Noam Dar, and he beat the giants of Joe Coffey, Rampage Brown into a threat to become the guy to get this match in the first place. Everything right now feels like story-wise it should go to Ilya Dragunov. And that's why, as much as I want to say I feel the guy to take the title off him should be Jordan Devlin, but I don't know if we're going to get an NXT UK TakeOver Dublin, or if they're going to push Devlin to that height like they did in OTT, because, folks, I do watch more wrestling than WWE. I feel like here, history will continue again, because if you're going out the way we know NXT, you're going to go out with something special for us to remember. And I want to see what a new realm of NXT UK, as long as they exist, looks like under Ilya Dragunov as the new NXT UK champion. I have a new champion in this match. And all I can say is, Walter, the Ligne Generale will rise again. And I'm very curious what direction he goes in going forward. But I feel Ilya deserves this moment and deserves a chance with this run. I have a new champion. As far as the rest goes, I got Samoa Joe, Raquel Gonzalez, Karen Grimes, and the one reason I'm still in NXT is to put over Kyle O'Reilly. I have Kyle O'Reilly going over, and that is my simple takeover, simple take. It's as simple as that. Jeff, you're next. Your match and your overall picks for takeover. What's the match you're looking forward to the most?
As much as I would like to see, being the main match, being Dragunov Walter, I am so excited to see LA Knight versus Cameron Grimes for the $1 Million Championship. And this is why. I have been a huge fan of Mr. DiBiase since I can't even remember when. Okay, we're talking like before the basketball days. We're talking about like I've watched videos from back when he was in other wrestling promotions as a good guy, mind you. And I've always liked DiBiase. I follow him on Facebook. Great guy, and one day I will meet him. I promise you that. But that is my match of the night. I cannot see Mr. DiBiase as a butler. Now, it would be role reversal with the fact that he had Virgil as his little butler, but I still can't see DiBiase to be the butler to LA Knight. I have Cameron Grimes as the brand new and well-deserving $1 Million champion, and the storyline couldn't be any better. They have nailed every portion, every corner, every side, top, bottom. They have nailed everything in this storyline, and it's been fantastic to watch it. My other picks, I do have Dragunov as the new UK champion. I also have Samoa Joe as the new NXT champion. I have Raquel Gonzalez retaining her NXT Women's Champion, and I have Kyle O'Reilly winning 2 falls to 1 against Adam Cole.
Baby. All right, well done. Mark, I just see you sitting there in anticipation. We've already killed 2 matches. Let's see what's on your mind and see if you have one different than us. You're next. Your key match and your story about it and your quick picks.
My key match is Walter and Dragunov, and I've changed my opinion since the match was moved to the U.S. I think that if it was on UK soil, I think that Dragunov would have won. So that kind of spoiled I think Walter will win this, and I know everything says that this is the perfect time for Dragunov to take it. And you would think that if not Dragunov, who else would step up and challenge Walter? We also got to remember that we have a certain Harry Smith that is also on the roster that could step up and possibly challenge Walter if he does retain. Keep that in mind. Long story short, I was on the Dragunov train, and still relatively, I feel like I have 1 foot on that train and 1 foot on the Walter train. Man, I really don't know. If somebody asked me, I would say I don't know. But at the end of the day, I think for them changing the venue and Harry Smith being a possible contender for Walter, I'm going to go with Walter on this one. As far as my other matches go, I went with Grimes. I think he does win it, but I think he drops the $1 million belt and tells Ted that he doesn't need it, and I think he goes after the North American title, possibly the NXT title. I got Joe beating Cross. I kind of lost interest a little bit in this after, Cross's, main roster debut and so on and so forth, and we know why. I think Joe wins it and brings that prestige back to the NXT title a little bit, create a little bit brand new buzz. Now with the Cole and O'Reilly, I do see that's tough as well. I got O'Reilly winning, but if Cole does decide to stay with the main roster, you don't want to beat him before he goes to the main roster, right? Or do you? It could go either way. I got O'Reilly winning that in the long run. And as far as his Twitch stream, they're not letting him keep his Twitch stream, and I think he's going to leave. That's just my opinion. And the last match of the night, it might be a shocker, guys, but I am going with Dakota Kai to become the NXT Women's Champion. I think she beats Raquel, and I think when the pay-per-view is over, I think Dakota will be on the mountaintop of NXT in the women's division. Obviously.
Well, I love that. I certainly think she deserves it, but again, she's already been involved in dark matches, tagging with, I think, Xia Li on SmackDown. And with her being involved in multiple Royal Rumbles, she's always been one of those that have been concerned about, oh boy, she's getting called up. But again, respect. And again, the Walter Ela match, it truly could go either way. I expect blood and Ela's chest being redder than ever before, and maybe Walter even busting blood too. This match is definitely going to go farther than October. I guarantee you. Last but not least, my brother Chris, your key match of the night and your thought and story about it and your quick picks.
Well, my match I'm most excited about is the NXT Championship match, Karrion Kross versus Samoa Joe. I am looking forward on this match. It got me so excited for Samoa Joe to finally get himself back into the ring, competing again. I'm excited for Samoa Joe. He's back. My prediction is Samoa Joe will become the new NXT Championship, and Karrion Kross will be having his nameplate as a Raw superstar on the graphics thing. I'm looking forward on that. So Samoa Joe is going to be the new NXT Championship. In the 2 out of 3 falls, I do have Kyle O'Reilly over Adam Cole. Adam Cole, we don't know if with his contract, he hasn't even signed a new contract, so he might be out of the door, and he might be with his friends in AEW and his beautiful Dr. Britt Baker.
DMD.
DMD.
Don't forget it.
So,
carry on.
So he might be there, or he might come to the main roster. I have a Raw and SmackDown. He could show up Saturday at SummerSlam. We don't know about that. So I have Kyle O'Reilly in the $1 Million Championship match. I kind of see LA Knight retaining the championship because this is his first title defense. So I see LA Knight winning. in the UK Championship, Walter is going to retain. Billy Dragunov, I'll give him credit if he wins, but it's not his time yet. And in the NXT Women's Championship match, I'm going to go with Raquel Gonzalez. She's going to retain, and I kind of see Dakota Kai being the next NXT superstar, move to the main roster on either Raw or SmackDown.
All right. And ladies and gentlemen, viewers now and on demand, there you have it. This is the NoDQ Galaxy panel's predictions and outlooks on all things WWE this coming weekend, SummerSlam and NXT TakeOver. Where do you stand? What are you most excited for? Which show heightens your hype more? What's your overall most anticipated match? Love to hear your thoughts, comments. Follow us on Twitter. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Like, share, subscribe, and tell a friend. And with that being said, stay tuned for the NoDQ Galaxy Predictions League form. Of course, Mark, be sure to fill it out this time. It will be up shortly after the NoDQ panel, which I will be joining in the next couple of minutes. But with that being said, before we go, you know what we always got to do. You want to connect with these fine gentlemen? They're about to tell you how to. And of course, I will start with my brother, Chris. Always a pleasure. Love your insight and energy. Where can people connect with you?
Well, I want to thank all of you guys for allowing me here again. I was on a StreamYard thing with my other best buddy, Sean's View Entertainment. Go check him out. He's really good. I've been a subscriber since 2014. I'm shouting you out, Sean's View Entertainment. How you guys all connect with me is my Facebook. You can see Christopher Rots. My Insta, C_Rots3. My Twitter is uppercase C, uppercase R, lowercase OT24. My Snapchat is C_Rots17. My TikTok is Rots_2423. And that is it. I'm a good kid. Just hit me up and I'll talk to you guys about anything about wrestling, sports, whatever. It's been a pleasure, and I'm looking on chatting with you guys over this week, course of the weekend, to get ourselves ready for SummerSlam and NXT TakeOver. Thank you.
God bless you, sir. Mark, you and I have teams on everything wrestling. I love your insight, love your energy, bro. You're good, rounded, all well, personal, friend and fan, just like me. Always a pleasure, sir. I know you got 50 different pages, but let's talk about where you are most elite and connected. Where can people find you?
You can all, just like you just said, you can always find me at the Team All Elite pages and the Team WWE pages.
I'll
guys,
have links
we're
in
in
the description down below.
That's awesome. I appreciate that. And guys, we're in for a huge weekend. Like, come on, it's SummerSlam, it's TakeOver. I couldn't be more excited. And you guys know how to find me right on the team pages on my Twitter. And guys, look, I really look forward to this weekend. I know you guys are as well. And let him in. He'll never die.
Yowie wowie. Respect. All right. Jeff, always a pleasure, sir. I know you got Meltdown 316. I'm not sure if you have anything new. Love you inside, your energy too. Anywhere else people can connect and interface with you?
Well, you can connect with me via Meltdown on the Facebook page, Facebook site, whatever. And if whatever you want to call it, if you want to connect with me on Instagram, it's jchad8477. That is completely up to you which way you want to contact me. But SummerSlam's here. This is it. This is the biggest party of the summer, and I'm so glad that us four horsemen are back together, baby.
No other way to have it. It's as simple as that. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know more about me, know this. I am just a simple man and a lifelong fan of wrestling. So follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, and at this YouTube channel. Just look up Ben Foster 1916. And stay tuned, of course, to NoDQ.com for all the latest updates, predictions, and, of course, NoDQ Galaxy Prediction League Forum. That'll be up live as soon as the NoDQ panel is over. As always, I like to close. There are no winners. There are no losers. There are no bears. There are just fans with no opinions for this passion we all share. So at the end of the day, folks, support one another and respect each other. And just enjoy life. and enjoy wrestling. It's as simple as that, especially with what the world is becoming in and out of the WWE, Forbidden Door included. For Christopher Ross, for Mark Griffith, and for Jeff Chadwick, I am Noah Foster, the simple man of NoDQ. I thank you all for tuning in, but this is where I bid you all a fine adieu. Take care, enjoy life. Tomorrow's never guaranteed. Treasure your families and enjoy wrestling. Until next time, whether WWE, AEW, NWA, NJPW, or something independent, special Hidden Gem 2, we are simply the NoDQ Guys Traditionally panel, fans of professional wrestling. And we got to give the people what they want. And I'll see you all next time, here or on demand or live on the Simple YouTube channel. Goodbye and good night.